18-0, is undefeated, featherweight champion. You got your rematch with Patricio Pitbull coming up in April. I know it's not set yet, but I'm sure your mind's already there.
Need the contract, man.
I know.
The contract.
So, how are you preparing for that fight, and what are you going to do differently this time? Not that you had any struggle last time, with a chokehold in 2 minutes, but how are you preparing for round 2?
Round 2, I would say my approach is going to be a little different this time. Last time was kind of like the big brother picking at the little brother, so this time, I'm going to go in there as the champ, hold myself a little different. He's got to come to me, same thing, just he had the belt. Now that I have the belt, I think it's going to be the same fight, honestly. Just go in there. I've been enjoying off-season snowboarding a little bit, staying up to date with my running. Weight's good. I'm like 15 pounds out, so just waiting for the contract, My dad's always bred me on the saying, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So that's kind of the lifestyle.
What were his weak points the first time around?
His weak points. Well, I got into his head, I feel like mental warfare is the number one warfare. Well, I read that in The Art of War. Mental warfare is the number one warfare. So the mindset, mindset is key. 18 fights, I knew I had a job to do, I knew I needed to go in there and set an example out of him. But for me, I'm finding the motivation in people thinking, oh, it was lucky, or oh, it just happened too quick. Because that was literally our first exchange. We hadn't really threw any punches or anything. That was our first exchange, and I dropped him. But for me, I'm going to go in there and just do what I do best, see an opportunity and capitalize on it.
And you've obviously proven yourself in the featherweight division, but, there's a lot of people that say that you got to fight in the UFC to play with the big boys. But do you think that, you could still be considered the greatest featherweight in the world without having to fight anyone in the UFC?
Definitely. I would say people kind of fail to realize the organizations don't make the fighters make the organization. So with me, my skill set, my stats, you can say, okay, I'm not fighting UFC fighters and their recognition, but look at who I'm fighting, what I'm fighting, and how the fights go. It's kind of like football or basketball. I'm all about the stats. So 18 fights, 13 finishes, 6 submissions, 5 knockouts. I think majority of them all in the first round. I like the stats, So regardless, I enjoy people hating, but at the end of the day, that's the motivation for me. So just keep it going, I love the haters as long as you're talking about me, but I don't know, I'm a loving guy. You shouldn't hate me, just join my team. We can be friends.
And if you could fight anyone from the UFC, who would be your top opponent?
My dream fight is Max Holloway. I just feel like he has some of the most elite striking in our division. You've seen it. He's picked people apart on their feet. But once again, it's mixed martial arts, so you gotta have a mix of all of them, and I feel like that's where my skill set comes in hand. I'm an adapter. Whatever situation I'm in, I'm gonna adapt to it and try to figure a way out, whether it's wrestling, striking, or jiu-jitsu, and kind of just well-rounded at all of them. So I think that would be a fun fight as Max Holloway. That's my dream fight.
Now, I gotta ask, mostly for personal reasons, I was at the Jake Paul press conference. I saw the little scuffle that happened. What was happening backstage between you and Nate Diaz?
I don't know. So, all right, Ant's had this feud with Nate, not even Nate, but one of his buddies for quite some time, Chris Avila. I had a prior incident with one of his other dudes. I don't even know the dude's name. Don't really care. But, I just told him, man, Ant's not to be touched in my presence. I don't like bullies, you know what I mean? And regardless situation, whatever it is, he's not to be touched in my presence. So every time I'm around now, they kind of nitpick at him, and I don't like that. So if somebody squares up, I'm gonna square up too. That's my boy, And I guess things got a little out of hand, but it's fight life. You can't put a bunch of warriors in a room and there's a bunch of feuds and expect everyone to get along. Someone's out of line. Eventually someone's gonna step out of line. But I wouldn't say it's real beef with Nate. But now it's becoming that, because it's like every time I see him, it's like a little laugh, a joke, a game. Bro, if we got an issue, what's up? We can handle an issue. You're a fighter, I'm a fighter. You got one fight, Showtime, boxing, what's up? That's where my mindset is. But I don't know, whatever.
So have you seen him since that altercation?
No.
Has he reached out or anything?
No. The first encounter I ever had with Nate, it was his buddy. Something happened, and I sent Nate a nice text. Yo, if your boy's got an issue, I know he's UFC. Tell him we can meet backyard style. Like, that's the era you grew up in, and that's the era I know of because that's the era my dad grew up fighting in. So with it, you know, hey, I know we got contracts, but hey, here's some bread, winner take all, let's set this feud. I never got a response. And now it's not with me, but it's with others around me. So, I mean, until it's directly at me, I can't really do anything, you know, but whatever.
Well, and speaking of Jake Paul, fighter pay has been a huge topic of conversation around all the different leagues and promotions. What do you make of this ongoing Twitter beef between Jake Paul and Dana White?
I think it's comical. No one ever really challenges Dana, so I think it's kind of funny that he's challenging Dana. I mean, mixed martial arts is mixed martial arts, you know. It's not like NFL, basketball, or any other sport, you know. It's still new. It's still becoming a sport. So, with that being said, I think there's pros and there's cons to it. My own personal opinion on it, I mean, I think it's funny. It's comical to me. I like it. I enjoy it. But at the same time, I don't think Dana likes it, you know. It's business, you know. It's business. So why would he? You know, his business has run great the way it is for many years. He's done great at building superstars and so forth. So it's cool. But hey, Jake's doing right things. I've been kind of in cahoots with him. I'm looking forward to hopping over on Showtime and teaming up with him and doing some boxing as well. So we'll see where that path lies as well.
Oh, so you are working with MVP Promotions then to try to get on with the cards?
Oh yeah, I don't know. MVP, Jake, it's all the same. You know, we'll see. I don't know. We'll see how things work out. But yeah, I've talked to Jake a couple times, you know, and see where things go.
Having seen him in the ring sparring against Tyron Woodley, knocking him out in very impressive fashion. Yes. You know, now he's, of course, calling out Masvidal, too, saying, you know, I will retire from boxing, I will sign the UFC to fight you. Having seen him in the ring, do you think he has what it takes to compete in MMA?
Definitely. It's a mindset, you know, that warrior, that beast. That first fight with Woodley showed a lot of heart for him to be able to not just take the damage, but also dish it out. You know, Woodley he's a beast, whether people give him the respect or not. You know, I've known Woodley since I was a kid, so that was a little rough fight for me to watch, you know, personally. And then like knowing, all right, you could potentially work with Jake, and then he's fighting like an uncle to you. So I kind of had to play the middle ground there, you know, and it was an experience. I'll say that. And I mean, hey, you know, business is business. You know, you can't get mad. And that's what I like about the sport, you know. At the end of the day, some fighters, at the end of the day, it's all business, you know. You hug it out at the end, you love each other, and you keep going. And sometimes, you know, you sell the fight, you know, you make it what it is. My ultimate card, I think it would be like, what, on boxing? It'd be kind of crazy. It'd be like Nate Diaz versus Logan, or Jake, and me versus Nate. Or like, I don't know, it'd be something crazy. But yeah, if Nate got an issue, we could get that on Showtime. What's up? Meet me outside.
Love it. And you obviously have your world champion belt.
We could put up a championship belt for it.
Let's get a close up of that belt, right? She is pretty.
A little bit.
Do you have any interest in competing for the lightweight title now that Pitbull's vacated?
Definitely. You know, that's why, honestly, I was a little upset with the fact that he released the belt and he gets a rematch. He should have got a rematch for the 55-pound title, because that was the whole goal, was to become champ anyways. But I mean, at this point, maybe I'll just beat him up one more time, and then we'll make it a family affair, and I'll take the belt from his brother.